response sheet. All right, so bear with me, guys. I'm talking to you live and I'm talking to half the team on Zoom. So bear with me, Zoomers. Feel free to get my attention if I'm not noticing you. I would love to pray to start off this meeting if we could. So let's just take a moment and go to the Lord. God, I thank you so much, Lord, for this team of students and adults, God, that are going to go to Costa Rica and be so blessed while we bless others. I thank you, Lord, for Providence School and the opportunities that we have. I pray that every person going on this trip would be changed as a result of what they experience, God, that their hearts would be softened and that they would become closer and closer to being like you, to being to knowing you, God, and to just having a better relationship with you. I thank you for using me in this way. Help me as I guide these students, and let this overall experience just be everything that you will it to be. We love you and we praise you in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, so I have given everyone a traveler response sheet, and I just want to go over real quickly the importance of this information. I have to verify everybody's names for the airline. I have everyone's tickets, and I have to verify that the name matches your passport. If it doesn't match your passport, they might not let you through, and it could be a real headache. So that's super important, as well as the birth date, including year. So all those things have to match up, and I have to verify that in the next few days. So that's really important. I know a lot of people go by something a little different, and I don't even know everyone on this trip. So please make sure to give me your nickname or the preferred name. As far as the student cell phone number, we will have a group chat, and I will set that up as soon as I get all these traveler response sheets. We will have a group chat. If anyone doesn't have an iPhone, we may need to all download WhatsApp in order to communicate in Costa Rica, because as long as you're in Wi-Fi at the hotel, we'll be able to communicate if we need to. But for the most part, it's really going to be about communicating. Hey, come on in. It's really going to be about communicating for meetings and what have you. Here you go. Valerie can fill that out and bring it to me tomorrow or whatever. In addition to your cell phone, a non-Providence email for just keeping in touch with each other before and after the trip. I need to put the students in hotel rooms together. So if you give me at least one other person that you definitely like to room with, 2 or 3 others, if I can put you all 4 in a room of 4, then I will. And on the back side of that list is a group of all the students attending. So you're like, I don't know who I want to room with. There they are. Okay. Any food allergies, restrictions, or preferences, please let me know if it's like something that will kill you or something that you just don't like. I need to know the difference there. So we can be on the lookout for those things. Any other non-food allergies? If you're on any kind of medication, I would like to know what you're taking and what it's for, because I am, hey guys, come on in. Here you go. Can you grab one of these for me? And if you don't have one. I am the mama bear on this trip. And so here you go. I need this from you, Dylan, and a pen if you need one. I'm going over this traveler response sheet right now. I think, when in your absence, you would want someone to take as good of care as your child as you will. So I need to know what they're taking and what they're taking it for, so that if I see some consequences or some behavior that's out of sorts, that I might be able to follow up and make sure that they're taking whatever medication that they need to take and all those things. So that's what that is for. Totally confidential. Only I will see that. The next question I realize requires a little bit of homework. Please do your homework on this if possible. I need to know if there's any time during the week. We will not meet on weekends, so I don't need to know that you're going, up to Savannah for the weekend. But if you're going to be traveling during the week from May 20th to June 20th, basically your unavailable days, Monday through Friday, because I would like to have some ministry meetings with the students. When we talk about the itinerary, you'll see that we are putting on a chapel, basically. And so we need to maybe have a drama or a skit. We need to maybe share some testimonies. We need to be prepared. And so we're going to have to get together over the summer and maybe even some activity periods before the end of the year. So that's what that question is for, which is also what the last question is for. Sports, interests, other special talents. If you play an instrument, if you dance, if you professional hula hooper, I don't know, something that would help me in putting you on teams when we're at camp, both with the Costa Rican kids and with each other. So that's what the traveler response sheet is about. Any questions about that? If you could get that back to me, it doesn't have to be tonight, but as soon as possible would be very helpful. Angie, do you want to come get a couple of these?
I will wait. You too.
Yeah, the copies of the passports, so I'll talk about passports real quickly. Copies of the passports are for two reasons. I keep one copy of everyone's passport on my person at all times. And then I leave a copy with my husband here in Jacksonville as my emergency contact person. When we arrive, as soon as we get on the bus after the airport, I collect all the passports from the students. I lock them away in a safe for the week and I give them back when we go to the airport that morning. So we don't have really any other identification on us. I've never needed the copies of the passports, but it's just really helpful to have. And then when I get home, I just shred them. So two copies, one for me to take with me and one for me to leave here with my husband, who's my emergency contact, who's kind of our emergency contact. So that's what that is for. What I want to go over now is the itinerary, which entails a lot of information about what to pack, what to bring, and what money you might need for the trip. So I'm going to hand these out real quick. Good enough. Anybody else need one? Anybody else want their own copy? I have plenty if you want your own copy. You're gonna want to refer to this when you're packing. So if you need more copies, don't hesitate. I'll also send them out in an email. All right, so the first new news, it's good news and it's bad news. The best flight options for us, it turned out, was to fly out of Orlando. It's not ideal, but the good news is we don't have to be at the airport at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's amazing. And we don't have a layover. It's a nonstop flight. So that's really amazing too. It will cost us a little extra because I've chartered a bus to take us to the airport and to bring us back to Providence. So it's going to be $110 per person. Hi. It's going to be $110 per person, but it will cover the ride to the airport and the ride back from the airport, which is, I mean, between time and gas, it's well worth it. And it will be great. This is what I used to do. I've only flown out of Jacksonville 2 or 3 years. We used to always go to Orlando and it's really smooth and easy. So now we'll meet at Providence at 6 a.m., which is way better than meeting at the airport at 4:30 a.m. And we'll have plenty of time to get to the Orlando airport and it'll be great. So that's a little change that I wasn't anticipating. But the flights out of Jacksonville were $1,000, or they got us in at like 9 o'clock on Friday, or we took a bus to Orlando. So that was the decision I had made. So there's our flight information right there to start off. There's our hotel information, but keep in mind, we don't go to the hotel until Sunday. So once we arrive in Costa Rica and head to camp, you will not really have access to your students, to your children that weekend, really, like, not at all. But I will communicate with you. I will have Wi-Fi. I will have access to send emails, let you know that we're good, that everything's fine, that everyone's awesome. And you can always communicate with me. But the students will not have access to their phones at camp. Once we get back to the hotel on Sunday, they will have access to their phones. There's just too many people, too many teenagers, too many temptations, and it's a distraction that I don't want them to have. So I will be collecting the cell phones at camp. I'll give them back on Sunday. So if you need to get a hold of them, you can get a hold of me. Day one, when we arrive, we go straight to there's a couple options of where we might go. We usually go to the first ever Starbucks farm in Costa Rica. But last year we went to this strawberry restaurant and it was so awesome. We kind of want to go back there. Was it you two who ordered the best thing ever? Oh yeah. And everyone was so jealous of what they ordered. We all want to go back and order what they got. It was so good. And the students are responsible for that meal. That's the only meal in Costa Rica they're responsible for paying for. Every other meal is covered. And then from there, we head to camp. If you've ever been to church camp or an overnight retreat, that's exactly what this is like. There's playing fields, there's been a pool. If we go to the same place, which they haven't confirmed we're going to the same place yet, there's a pool, there is, and then there's cabins. We will not room with the Costa Ricans. Our girls will have a cabin, our boys will have a cabin, but you will need bedding for that, like a twin sheet and maybe a light blanket. A sleeping bag would probably be a little hefty because it's cooler in the evenings, but there's no air conditioning in the cabins. So even though it's cooler at night, I usually bring like a king size flat sheet and I lay it under me and I lay it over me and I'm fine. That's my little sleeping bag. And then it doesn't take up that much space either. Exactly. If you're cold, just wear more clothes. Exactly. And I usually take a t-shirt, like one of my husband's nice, like big soft t-shirts, and I cram clothes inside of it and I make that my pillow, because pillows are bulky and heavy and that's kind of a hard deal to pack. So I usually do that for my pillow situation because we only can take one suitcase. So packing all of this, is kind of a lot. Speaking of packing, technically we are allowed to take 2 suitcases free because we're going with Southwest, but I don't want everyone taking 2 suitcases because it's too much stuff. We don't have room for it. The rooms, the cabins, even the hotel rooms are tiny. We don't have room for all that. And I have a bunch of stuff to bring for house, for camp, t-shirts for 150 people. And so I need you to take a second bag that's actually my bag. So it doesn't cost me any money. So we will have extra suitcases, but I need everyone to just pack one. Okay. So this is a little complicated. So I need you to kind of follow with me on day one. Okay. We will arrive with our suitcases, but we're going right to camp. So here's what I need you to think about. all you need for camp is a backpack or a duffel bag. So in your suitcase, you need to have a backpack or a duffel bag, either packed for camp in your suitcase or empty, and you can quick throw some things in it, and we will
Hey.
store our suitcases at the hotel. Because we are not taking our suitcases to camp. Okay, so whatever you're gonna need for camp, and I have that in red, the what to pack and what to wear for every single day on the trip is in red as we go through the itinerary. Okay, so you can pack your little camp duffel and put it on one little half of your suitcase and you're good to go. Or you can throw stuff in it when you get there. Or you can make your carry-on, your camp bag, whatever you want to do. But that's how that needs to go. We are not taking our big suitcases to camp. Okay, does that make sense? Your toiletries you'll want for camp, and they'll have to go in your big suitcase, right? So have a separate little toiletry bag, grab it, and we're off to camp. You will need a towel for camp, flip-flops for a shower. As far as bathing suits, really the girls kind of just wear like shorts and t-shirts if there's a pool. Boys may or may not also wear t-shirts. I don't know. Whatever they do, that's what we're gonna do. Because we're in their country and we're in their territory and we are not there for them to look at us. We're there to be with them and have heart connections, right? So we don't want any distractions whatsoever. The clothing for camp, super modest. Tank tops are okay for camp. Girls, I don't think boys should wear a tank top personally, but girls, if it's like thick strapped and loose fitting, like a boy's tank top, for example, but not tight fitting, not spaghetti strap, not any of that. Really, you should just wear your ugliest clothes that you have, your biggest shorts. I literally have a drawer in my dresser that's like Costa Rica clothes because I won't wear them anywhere else. My children won't let me wear them anywhere else, right? Cut off sweat shorts and like, I got some jean shorts from Walmart that go way down here. I'm embarrassed even trying them on myself in my room, but I will wear them to Costa Rica. It's just about being super, super modest. Okay. That's what we're going for. Even girls like the Nike, like the short Nike shorts are too short. Last year we went to Walmart and we were able to find some that were kind of flowy. I don't even think I'm talking to girls in front of me, but I think online I have girl families in front of me. If you're not sure, girls, if you're not sure, bring them to a meeting. I'll let you know. And I'll also let you know in Costa Rica, like, I'm sorry, you can't wear that. And then you'll be wearing my jorts. So be careful. All right, so let's see. So at camp, we put the kids into teams. We, like I said, it's a lot like a retreat. We play a lot of games, a lot of competitions. We get really dirty. There's water activities. So you really just need like a bunch of t-shirts. You're just gonna get dirty. Bunch of t-shirts for camp. I would say like three for Saturday, maybe 2 for Sunday. If you brought 5 shirts to camp, you should be fine because you're gonna get dirty. But if you're dirty and you stay dirty, that's fine too. It's not a big deal. Go to camp, be dirty. It's not a big deal. Depending on the shower situation, we may or may not even get one. I've gone to where the shower situation was like, I think I'll just wait because it might not be hot water. It might just be cold water. So there you go. You know, yeah, camp is always an adventure, but it's such a special time. So much fun. A couple years ago, we created an obstacle course where we ran down this hill and under these ropes and literally into a mud pool. And we just hosed off and it was awesome. It was great. Sunday at camp, Sunday morning is our devotion, our chapel, if you will. We put that on. So, we will sing, well, they might sing. We probably won't sing, but we'll do a drama of some sort. We will share some testimonies. Maybe Coach Wright will preach and I'll translate. Wouldn't that be fun? That'd be fun, huh? One of us will give a little message, and maybe we'll have some kind of a response. We get to come up with all this. The church that we're going with is called Avivamiento, and they're from an area in San Jose called La Carpio, and it's a very, very impoverished area. But you won't know it when you meet your new friends, because they will wear their very best to camp because they want to impress you. And because this is a really big deal to them to get to do this. And part of your money that you're paying to go on this trip is even allowing them to go to camp. So this is like such a big deal for them. Plus, it's the first camp since COVID. We did 10 years of camps before COVID, and this is our first camp after COVID. So they are excited. They will be wearing their very best because they want to impress you. We will not. They come from nothing, but you would not know it when you meet them. We meet on neutral ground, and it's a beautiful thing. Sunday, after our service and after lunch, we head back to the hotel. We clean up, we put on jeans or pants and our camp t-shirts, and we'll get our camp t-shirts at camp, or I'll give it to you beforehand. I don't know, but they will get camp t-shirts also. So we'll meet them. We're going to go to their church that night, which is really cool because you will get to see their neighborhood, and it'll shock you where they come from and how much you were able to bond and connect with them, even with language barriers and everything. And we will have a concert and a pizza party. We will praise and worship with them. Praise and worship in Costa Rica is my favorite hobby. Like if I could do it all the time, it's their praise and worship is like choreographed. It's like there's a dance move for everything. It is so much fun. And so we'll enjoy some worship with them, a pizza party, we'll sign our t-shirts, and we'll be on our way. And camp will be over Sunday night, and our trip will just be beginning. Yes.
The question of pants, is that suggested because it's cold, or is it required out of respect?
Yeah, I just,
But I know that don't wear pants even like cold.
they were shorts.
Right, but obviously like in some cultures, like
No, it's not a cultural thing. I wouldn't mind if the guys wore shorts like what you have on right now is probably okay. But a lot of them would wear pants. Church for them is, well, I guess they don't really dress up for church. What do you think, Angie? Yeah, like. They were the best. Right. Right. I mean, the girls and myself, I would never wear shorts there. But if the guys wanted to wear like those longer kind of khaki shorts, that's probably fine. Yeah, not like, gym shorts, obviously, but it does get cool, but not in a Costa Rican dance party, praise and worship in a church. No, there's nothing cool about church that night. Yeah, for sure. Any other questions so far about camp? My Zoomers, anybody? Okay, awesome. All right, moving right along. The next day is our adventure day. It's kind of a little brief, a little intermission in between services, in between ministries, if you will. And last year we went ziplining. This year we're going to the beach. So it'll be a little bit of a different adventure. We're going to get up super early and get on a bus and head to the coast. And then we're going to get on a catamaran boat. If you tend to get seasick, I suggest packing some medicine for that. Even for the bus ride, might even be worse than the than the boat, because we do go through the hills and the mountains to get to the beach. You will need flip-flops, cover up. This is a really touristy thing, so I don't mind if the girls wear two pieces for this, but I still want very modest two pieces. And again, if you're not sure, ask me. But we don't want to draw attention to ourselves or distract even the boys on our trip, because that's not the focus of this trip. So girls, I ask you to be super, super modest. I prefer like a tankini or a one piece, and we're going to be, again, it's chilly in the morning and it's chilly when we come home. You definitely want to pack like a baggie for your wet bathing suit, because you can't get on the bus with wet clothes. And every night we brief and let you know what to pack and what to do. Just make sure you always have a bag, like a travel day bag, your backpack, a drawstring, something. And you'll need a towel for that day, sunscreen. You need sunscreen like every day. Every day you need sunscreen. Almost every day you need bug spray. Camp, you need bug spray and sunscreen. Hats are good, sunglasses. We're in the Central Valley of Costa Rica. It's very, very strong sun. Money, pretty much everything is covered on this catamaran trip, but sometimes they have like you can get sodas and water for free, but if you wanted like a virgin pina colada, you'd have to pay for that. I know, it's like a little touristy day. Sometimes there's kayaks and things like that that they charge a little extra for. It used to be that everybody gets snorkel equipment and everybody gets a ride on the banana boat, and all that is included. So again, things have changed since COVID, so don't quote me exactly, but shouldn't need any money for that day. We come back from that day and we just are exhausted. We'll have lunch or dinner at the hotel, and then we prepare for our house build. And that will begin on Tuesday. So day 5 begins our house build. This is even more modest clothing than at camp. No tank tops, super long shorts, because now we're not just amongst teenagers in an enclosed area. We're out in the community and we don't know who's passing by and what's going on. And so we are dressed super, super modestly. We should not wear our favorite jewelry. We should not, and I'm not saying that it's dangerous. I'm just saying that we don't want to draw attention to ourselves. Okay. So, old sneakers, I usually get mine from like Hope's Closet, sometimes throw them away before I even come home. So they're going to get wet. They're going to get dirty. Do not wear your favorite new Hokas to Costa Rica. Okay. Because you will ruin them. A little poncho is a good idea because it can rain. It's very much like Florida. So 4 o'clock, it's starting to rain. So, oh my gosh, how many times did we move the wood, cover it with the metal, move it back? It's gonna rain. It didn't rain. It's raining. Like, move the supplies. The rain's, it's crazy. So, and literally like painting in the rain. Yeah, I know. They do things much differently there than we would here, but it works. Let's see, what else? Refillable water bottles, that's good for the whole time. Everyone needs their own pair of work gloves. You always have to have gloves on. The material for the roof will cut your hand right open. A lot of wood that we're moving around, hammering, the whole thing. So work gloves are mandatory. Goggles are a good idea, but sunglasses are fine too. If you're going to be on the wall building team, we usually split up into different teams, painting, wall building. Your clothes will be covered in paint. So again, nothing that you're going to want to save or come home with. Okay. It's a dirty job, but it's so super fun. So we will work on that day 1. Day 2 of the house build is Wednesday. And the house build takes 3 days. So on the second day, we will leave the house build and we will go to Walmart. I used to bring all the stuff for the house, but it's much more important that we contribute to their economy. We want to buy things from their employees and their Walmart, not our Walmart. I know it's still Walmart, but still, it's their economy. And so that's what we're going to do. We need to purchase things like sheets and sheets and blankets, dishes and appliances, not appliance. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Dishes and plates and stuff like that for the kitchen area, bedding for the bedrooms, pillows, towels, things like that. And so everybody will get to participate in that, and everybody will need to contribute anywhere between $25 to $50, whatever budget you can give your child to spend. Last year, I put them into teams. We know the family by then. We don't know them yet, but last year we knew that we had 3 children. We had a 9-year-old boy, and we had a 3-year-old boy, and we had a 9-month-old girl. So when we went to Walmart, I said, you know, you're in charge of the boys' room. And so they bought bedding that had trains and trucks. Someone wanted to buy this huge teddy bear, and I was like, that is so silly. Why? But I didn't say that. I thought it. But the mom, and she's a single mom, and she loved this teddy bear. She was like, I'm going to share my bed with this teddy bear, and I am so happy. And the little girl, we have this picture of the little girl next to the teddy bear. It was precious. So whatever extra things they want to purchase for them, they can do. There was a team in charge of the kitchen, and, you know, to pick out, should we get him a water pitcher, and what kind of dishes do you think she would like? And but I really loved that the kids took ownership on that. I used to do all of that, and last year I just gave it to the kids, and they were amazing. Handled it, did the shopping, got what they needed. They even put the whole house together. We have to put the furniture together. We have to make the beds. We do all that on day 3, and it's this big welcome home key ceremony. And there's not a dry eye in the place, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I do ask everyone to be prepared to contribute to that. Credit cards, Visa work really great in Costa Rica, but gift cards to Walmart will not work. If you buy it here, it will not work there. So that's not an option. And if you use cash, you'll get colones back. You'll get colones change, which make a great souvenir. Beyond that, we don't really know what to do with it. It's like 520 colones per dollar, which is terrible math. Don't even, you know, they're like, but still, how much is $4? It's 2,000 colones. I don't know. $4? I don't know. So yeah, really a credit card, debit card is the best way to go, but definitely let your bank know that you're going to be in Costa Rica. Okay, so what else? The house build, the final day, Thursday is our final house build day. We will take the family grocery shopping. Just let them buy all the rice and coffee and detergents and whatever, diapers, maybe, whatever the mama needs, whatever she needs. We take her grocery shopping. And usually I take a crew with me grocery shopping with the family, and we take them out for ice cream. And then the rest of the crew is finishing up all the details, making the beds, doing kind of all that. So that's what happens on the last day before the key ceremony. And then we go home. Oh, that night we'll go to Sarchi. Sarchi is a really cool place. It's where they make these hand-painted ox carts, and it's a beautiful area and a really nice souvenir shop. So we'll have dinner there. The kids can do some shopping. And then every night we have kind of a devotional debriefing time with the kids. I'll be giving all the kids a journal for the trip, but I do want them to bring their Bibles. We play games. We just kind of talk about what we saw and what God is doing in them, and give them an opportunity to kind of process all of this that they're seeing and experiencing and doing. And so that's some of my favorite times actually is back in the crazy carpeted rooms with the kids at the hotel to just kind of hash some of this stuff out. So they'll need that. They'll need their Bible, but I'll give them journals for that. And then Friday, we head home. So comfy clothes for traveling. And of course, don't forget everything you bought while you were in Costa Rica. I'll give the passports back that morning, and we will head to the hotel. It depends on where we're building. I hope so. I have gotten to see a lot of the families that I have built for, and it's beautiful. So, and I keep in touch with Gloria. In fact, she asked me to be Martine's godmother. I go, what does that mean? What do I have to do? She says, it's nothing. I just want him to know that someone loves him and is praying for him, and is so sweet. So sweet. So yeah, I do still keep in touch with her on WhatsApp. So we definitely want to connect. It just depends on if we're building within the proximity, because that was a walk even just to get to her house, you know, so. But they're still building generally in that same area, so I really hope so. Before we go into the last 3 points, does anybody have questions about itinerary? And then we're almost done.
When do they get their cell phones back?
So when we get to the hotel on Sunday, they'll get their cell phones back. And I just ask that they only use them when they're in their hotel room or like in the lobby. Like
Does the hotel have a safe where they can do all that stuff?
they do. Every room has a safe. Yep, every room has a safe. And I don't want them at meetings. I don't want them at meals. We eat dinner out at a restaurant every night. We eat lunch at the church in the community where we're building. The ladies make food for us. It's like authentic Costa Rican food. It's amazing. We used to do Subway, and now the ladies cook for us, and it's awesome. We have breakfast at the hotel. So I don't want them at breakfast on their phones. I don't want them on the bus on their phones. I want them together looking around at the beautiful scenery, right? So, but sometimes the rooms don't have good service or connection. So if they need to go to the lobby or whatever, I don't care. Walking around the hotel, free time, meet me, 30 minutes till the meeting, whatever, go wherever with your phone. But don't bring your phone to the meeting type of thing.
And you'll notify all of us when you've landed safely and everybody.
Oh yeah, I will send notifications to you guys daily. Yeah. So I was sending, I'm gonna email this. When I emailed yesterday through fax, everybody got that. But last week I was sending messages through the Joshua Expeditions portal, and not everybody got that. So I'm gonna make sure to create kind of a group email that I can quickly send out to you guys. And I'll do that daily. Yeah. And I have T-Mobile, Sprint, T-Mobile, but I don't even know what's happening with that. But and as soon as I land in Costa Rica, it's like bienvenido a Costa Rica. And I have full service. It's really annoying. It used to be like, see ya phone, but now everything works, which I'm kind of bummed about, Anyone can call me, text me, my phone works perfectly. No issue with T-Mobile in Costa Rica. It doesn't cost me any more. So I was kind of bummed when that happened, to tell you the truth. So, okay, if there's no questions about the itinerary, then there's 3 more points: important policies, money, and optional contributions. Couple of things is I will need 2 copies of everyone's passports. We went over that. I told you about collecting them. I told you about cell phones. Students are responsible for their own medications. We talked about this with the traveler response sheet. Any of you that got on late to the meeting on Zoom, the traveler response sheet asks for any medications, what they take and why they take it. So I can help monitor that if need be. They will keep track of their own money. So you need some kind of a purse, backpack, drawstring bag for every day. Our bus and our bus driver is ours and ours only. So we can leave stuff on the bus. it's no problem. We usually, can leave stuff at the church, or we just pile stuff maybe in a neighbor's house. If we have all of our backpacks and water bottles and bug spray and sunscreen and all that stuff while we're working, there's always a place to pile that stuff. One of the coolest things about this house build is the way the community comes together. I mean, neighbors, remember last year we filled someone's family room with the wood because it was starting to rain. We didn't know where to put all this stuff. And she's like, come put it in my house. She didn't want their, house materials to get ruined. So we filled her family room with it. So there's always a safe place to keep our bags. So want to make sure to have a travel bag. Students and travelers are expected to participate in all group activities, including meals and meetings at the hotel. Those are never optional. If someone doesn't feel well or needs to stay back a day, myself, Ms. Miller back here, and Coach Wright are my 3 chaperones, plus we have a guide. So we have enough help that if someone needs to stay back because they're not feeling well, someone will stay back with them, okay? Students are expected to attend April activity meetings and hopefully some pre-trip meetings in June as well, which is why I need the students' cell phone numbers and email addresses, and then what your travel plans look like in June so that we can coordinate getting together in activities and through the remainder of the school year. Plus, I don't even know some of you guys. We need to start getting to know each other. So that'll be really fun. Okay, so that's that. Let's talk about money. It's usually our least favorite topic, right? I told you dollars are accepted, but colones are usually given as change. At the end of the trip, I usually like if you have colones left over, it's a good idea. Like we usually take up a collection for our bus driver. And I forgot to put that on here, but a few extra dollars for tipping is like, we'll need to tip our bus driver. I tip the Joshua Expeditions guide, but I will do that with ministry funds already. That's fine. But the bus driver, maybe the crew on the catamaran day when we go on the beach. So a few extra dollars for tipping here and there is a good idea as well. Visa works everywhere. And I usually carry extra cash for everyone on me because like one time we were at camp and they had this little snack shack and they had these popsicles and they were $1. Well, nobody had dollars at camp. So I have so I have things like that, but it's because I don't want the kids worrying about having to have money on them all the time and losing it or whatever. So really the days on the itinerary where I say we're going shopping are the only days that they need to worry about it. Students are responsible for their own meals in the airport and the first lunch when we arrive. And then so airport coming, airport going, 20, 40, 60, maybe $60 for food is probably enough, I would say. I don't know. Do you remember what you packed last year? Zelinka, do you remember?
I probably packed around 67.
Or something like that, right? I just remember you had some conflict with like cash versus not. You had cash and wished you didn't. Was that? Yeah.
Work for everything in the airports, and so sometimes the translation is not as easy.
Right. As a card is easier. Yeah. Card is definitely easier. So again, then I say the souvenir shopping, that's up to you, whatever you want to spend. The souvenirs in Sarchi are kind of expensive, to tell you the truth. A little pricey. I mean, the earrings are only like $4, so I'm fine. But you might, a hat or a t-shirt might be like $20. Like it's kind of a lot, right? Walmart's a great place to souvenir shop. Like get your Costa Rican coffee and your Costa Rican candy. Spanish things that have Spanish on them. Honestly, like Walmart is a pretty great place to get those. And if you're a coffee drinker, you want your child to bring you back some coffee, I will help them pick out the best one because it's amazing. It is amazing. Mine lasted me till about January. I'm gonna have to double up on my purchase to get me through the year. So then the Walmart contribution, $25 to $50 that the students can spend as part of their team. Like if they're in charge of kitchen, or they're in charge of bedroom, or they're in charge of extra. I forgot how I divided it last year, but I'll put them in teams and send them off. And then, what's the last one? Oh, the bus fee for Orlando, $110 per traveler. And I will send a link, in an email tomorrow to, like a pay it link, like you do a million things for Providence. I'll send that out tomorrow. There's no rush on it. I know a lot of us, myself included, for my daughter, still working on our final payment and what have you. So there's no rush on that, you know, before we go, preferably. And then the last thing I have are some optional contributions. So any means that you have to assist extra would always be greatly appreciated. Just the mission fund in general. I've had some very generous donors over the years, and it's still doing well enough that I did not have to ask for any money to build the house. It's $5,000 to build the house. So with the missions account at Providence, I was able to cover that thanks to some very generous donors years ago. So that being said, there are some extra things that some contributions would be greatly appreciated if you're able. If you're not, it's totally fine. It does not mean they will go without. The Lord will provide one way or another. So the family with the house build, the family gets a stove. I think just a stove. I think that's all they, like a little 2 elements and a little oven. I think that comes with the house. Extra we can get for them is a refrigerator, and a washing machine, right? Isn't that what we got last year? The refrigerator that Gloria had prior to her new home was where she stored her baby clothes, because it didn't work anymore. So she just used the shelving of the old refrigerator as the dresser for her baby's clothes. So it was really great to be able to buy her a new refrigerator. But again, it's optional.
Hey, quick question.
No, there's like a Maxi Pali. It's like the grocery store, and it's a local. Yeah, because the Walmart's a little too far away to get it there and all that. I don't know if the prices are any different anyway. Yeah, question.
I was just gonna ask about how much refrigerators and washer and dryers cost over there. Is it about the same as here? I think that's what you were gonna say.
Oh gosh, no, not at all. I think last year the washer and the refrigerator combined were $750.
Okay.
I want to say. So, because you guys donated 5 and then someone else donated 2, and then I put in the last 50, because we had 500 going into it, and then we found out that both of them was going to be 750, and we were like, oh, we have to get them everything, you know. So
Perfect.
yeah, so it's about, I think the extras, last year it came to about 750. So I put on the page 500 to 1,000 to buy more appliances, because we all know how everything is more expensive than it was last year. So just an average.
No dryer.
No dryer. No, they wouldn't know what to do with a dryer. No, they don't have the electricity for a dryer. They do have electricity. They don't have plumbing. We do not put plumbing in the house. We do put electricity. The second item under optional contributions is for grocery shopping. 200, we give her a budget and we put in, as she puts things in the cart, we add it up to keep within the budget. So $250, which if every traveler, you know, contributed $10, we'd be set. So there's that. And then the last thing is t-shirts for camp. Every traveler, every one of us, every one of them, they say they're sending 100 kids to camp. But they always say that and that never happens. We'll be about 100 kids total with like 70 of them and 30 of us. But I will come prepared with 150 t-shirts because God forbid someone didn't get one. And so we get those t-shirts. I get them as simple, as cheap as possible with my husband's business. And then I'll order wristbands that are super inexpensive, but probably between all of that, I would say $1,500 would cover that. And it is, like I said, the t-shirts, wristbands that the students get for like what team they're on, you know. And then there's a ton that goes into it between the games, them creating a team flag, so much that goes into it. But like I said, I have ministry money, I have money for these things. But as the years go on and as the program grows, if you have the means to donate and bless the program, whether it's something we use this year or not, then I encourage you to pray about that. And it's always needed. It's a never ending need.
Hey, Mary Beth,
Yes.
sorry. I don't know if this was ever considered. Is shipping those type of things over in advance, if a family wanted to do that, is that an option or no?
It's not necessary because we get 2 free suitcases with Southwest. So if everybody brings 1 suitcase and then like 5 people bring 5 of my extra suitcases, it works out, it's free. So,
Okay.
yeah. And people have asked me before, like, I have a bunch of cleats that I'd like to donate, or I have clothes that I want to bring and donate or whatever. That kind of thing, shipping it would be easier. Or if you have an extra pair of cleats and you want to bring them to give away when you're at camp, things like that we have to be really careful with like what we give away. We have to be really, really careful because we don't want to give unless we have something for everyone. So those kinds of things, you know, we have to be really sensitive about. Any other questions? Yes.
The contribution for the household items at Walmart, is that okay with that just allocated on their credit card, or you want that in cash?
No, I want them to have that and them to be able to spend that themselves in Costa Rica, like part of their souvenir money, like part of his spending money. He gets to go and take care of that. I don't have anything to do with that.
But is it okay that he uses the credit card?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yes, that is
So
credit card.
$50 cash for meals. How much would you suggest that they bring for souvenirs, tips?
Okay, yeah, good question. I don't know if you guys on Zoom could hear. She said if about 60 for meals covers it, how much for souvenirs, tips, cash wise? Yeah, I would say an additional $10 for tips would be great. And then I would say souvenirs, you can definitely use your card for souvenirs. So that's up to you. Give your kid a budget and say, don't spend, you can spend $100 on souvenirs. You can spend $20 on souvenirs. Is your kid the type that wants to buy something for everyone in the family? Or does he just want to get himself a little souvenir, a little memory, you know?
Now, when you guys are like out on the catamaran and the kids go swimming or something, can one of the chaperones hold the cash?
Oh, yeah. Everything, we keep everything, at the picnic tables or whatever it is. And this is a super touristy situation. So we're not out in the community where people are looking to take things. So it's, yeah, I mean, yeah, cash can be hard.
The credit card gets lost or stolen, yeah, you know what I'm saying, while he's out swimming.
Right,
instead of-
right.
If it was just sitting in the bag.
Yeah, no, and I'm super like, yeah, I'm way more concerned with what they're doing and where their stuff is and where, you know, it's usually like, okay, what kid left their bag sitting in the middle of the, you know, yeah. So, yeah, we're on it. Any other questions? I'm so grateful for you guys to come out for this meeting. I don't know about you, but Life is so crazy right now. So busy, so much going on. We are quickly approaching the end of the school year. I am finishing a master's degree in 4 weeks and I'm like buried in life right now. So, I feel a little overwhelmed. I hope that you guys, I hope I didn't overwhelm you too much. I'm not overwhelmed by this. I'm overwhelmed by life. But I hope this was a blessing to you guys. I hate to wait too long to have this meeting. I know you want to start preparing and planning and all the things. So, again, get those traveler response sheets back to me as soon as possible, and then we'll get going on setting up some meetings with the students. No, it's all the same. Chargers are all the same. No adapters needed. Great question. Yep. There's a bit of a time difference. I think is it 2 hours or 1? 2 hour difference. And the sun rises at like 5 a.m. and it goes down at like 6 p.m. So that's super different. Even in the summer, yeah. Oh, thank you.
When they get their clothes dirty at camp and stuff like that, do you guys just leave the clothes behind because?
Yeah, I mean, they can throw their clothes in the trash if they want to. I wouldn't do it at camp because I wouldn't want the Costa Ricans to see us just throwing away clothes. But if they get back to the hotel, like you definitely want to pack extra trash bags, Ziplocs, grocery bags for all the nasty clothes. And then if they decide to just put them in the trash can in their hotel room, totally fine. Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of kids leave their sneakers and some things behind.
You guys.
No, we're not doing laundry. No, no laundry.
You said it first, when you said how much clothes will you go about? For certain, like, are we spending 2 days there? Or is it just-
Yeah, we're gonna be at camp all weekend. So we get there Friday, we spend the night at camp. Friday night, we're there all day Saturday. And we're playing like a lot of group games. We'll do like an amazing race type thing, like a scavenger hunt type thing with your team. So you'll be running around. Some of the games and activities, you have to like complete a task to move on to the next one, and it'll involve getting wet in some way or another, right? You might have to jump across into the pool, might be part of the scavenger hunt. We just never know, right? Till we get there. Well, I pretty much plan it, so I'll know, but trust me, you'll be getting wet, you'll be getting dirty, you'll be getting sweaty. And then the afternoon, they put on some games, and then we have, I mean, and it's, I don't know, do we have any soccer players in here? It's all day soccer. With soccer, if any basketball players in here, okay, well, too bad because they're playing soccer. You can the gym is for indoor soccer and the fields is for outdoor soccer. So if you play basketball or volleyball, too bad. We kick volleyballs in Costa Rica. Totally. Camp days are gym clothes kind of days. You definitely want like a sweatshirt, maybe sweatpants for in the evenings because it does get cool. If you've ever been to California, it's kind of like that. It gets cooler in the evenings for sure. And then there's usually a little rainstorm, which cools it off a lot. Okay, that's good to know. They wanted to throw their clothes away last year, so just plan on clothes that will go in the trash. Yes, there's like a storage room and we all cram our suitcases into the storage room and it's locked up. And then I take their passports and I put them in a safe in the hotel office because I don't have a room yet. So I lock them up in the hotel office. Yep. Like I said, we've done camp 10 years before COVID. So we've got it down to a science. Any other questions? Yes.
Do you have an idea of how many service hours you get throughout this trip?
Oh my gosh. I feel like they put a max on me. I feel like they wouldn't let me do more than 50. But let's see if we're. I mean, it's 8 hours a day. I mean, even at camp, when we're with these kids. Yeah, at least 40, I would say. Good deal, huh? Yeah, very good deal. Yep.
What happens if they're taking a class over the summer, like Bible here in their school?
That's a good question. My daughter is doing that and did that last year. Yeah, a lot of them are doing that. Oh, I remember that from last year. You know what? That was actually really cool. There's Wi-Fi. So they can bring their little laptop if they want to. We'll keep it in their suitcase when we're at camp, but they can bring their little tablet, no problem. I remember last year they had like an interview assignment about their walk with the Lord, and the kids were interviewing each other. And that was actually a really neat thing that was happening on the trip last year, kids that were taking Bible. So yeah, they'll have some time to do homework in the evenings for sure. Yeah, great question.
Sprinkle was really understanding and forgiving because he traveled for a week. last summer.
Yeah,
He was taking all my
of
So
course.
he just gave an extension.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we were in Rome and in Greece, and he did Bible.
Nice, nice. Yeah, they're pretty good about if you're not able to get to it. Cause
Wondering, like, because it seems like
they'll be
every-
tired too, and we're tired. We get up early and we go hard all day. So by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, I'm like, good night. You got to go to bed because I'm going to bed. Yeah, they're tired. Any other
Is it-
questions? Yeah,
Is a full size luggage appropriate that you
Yeah.
check in?
full size
Yeah.
luggage is fine. You just don't want to exceed 50 pounds. We're traveling with Southwest.
Okay, thank you.
And technically you can have 2 free bags on Southwest. We just don't have room for everyone to bring 2 bags. So do your best to only have 1, but a full size, absolutely. Yep. Another
And
question.
their passport, the only form of identification.
That's right. It's the only form of ID they need is their passport. Yep. Yep. Anyone else?
Does anybody convert their cash before they go?
I was wondering that too, actually. When you say cash, do you mean cash or do you mean we should get them some like?
Colones? No, don't get them colones. No, cash. Everyone takes cash. So there's no, I don't know if you might save a few cents by exchanging it earlier. I don't know. But everyone gets cash. You'll just get colones back, which you can use for the tipping. I can help them with how much, or there's a little convenience store, a little mini mart walking distance from the hotel. And we go there almost every night. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention this. Some kids like to have like their giant bottle of water in their hotel room for the night or whatever there is. The water is totally fine to drink, by the way, too. I fill my water bottle right out of my bathroom sink in the hotel and it tastes better than my water here. So it's totally filtered and it's fine to drink. But we do go to the little mini mart and they have an ATM machine and they will take cash, but they'll give you colones back, but then you can use it again at the mini mart when they need their Oreo fix or.
So, is this trip tax deductible and donation tax?
If you make a
deductible?
donation to Providence Missions, yes, it will be tax deductible. Yes. And it'll go right into the missions account and we'll use it from there. Absolutely. Great question. Any other questions? All right, well, I'm still here. I'm hanging out. If you have any individual questions, if you've made copies of passports, I'll take those. Online Zoomers, thanks for coming. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll chat later.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Alex, you have to make a soup.